is time for Haglof Sweden, who develops and manufactures a full range of precision measurement instruments, as well as system solutions used by forestry professionals all over the world. Following this video introduction, we will be physically joined by Mr. Fredrik Holm, who is CEO, and Mr. Jonas Wikner, who is the CMO. So if we could please roll Haglof Sweden's video introduction, please.
Welcome to a short presentation about Haglof Sweden. My name is Fredrik Holm and I am the CEO at Haglof. We hope that you will get an insight about what we do and what we can provide. Our main office is located in the northern part of Sweden, in a small city called Långsele. Haglof Sweden offers a wide range of measuring instrument and system solutions for mainly the forest industry. We develop all and produce all hardware and software in Sweden, and that ensures that Haglof Sweden produce rugged instruments with high quality that will work in all kinds of conditions. If we divide Haglof Sweden's portfolio into product categories, we first have the manual assortment, like the increment borers and manual calipers. Second, we have the electronic instrument, like hypsometers, like the Vertex, and rangefinders. Third category, we have electronic and computer caliper. In the computer caliper, you have all kinds of possibilities when it comes to software. We could also provide numerous different software in several languages, as well as application for both iOS and Android devices. We often combine our instrument with customized software for a specific customer or region.
My name is Jonas Wikner. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Haglof. I will explain briefly about some of the more advanced products for accurate field measurements. First, the calipers. We have 3 different models of electronic calipers, and I will explain firstly about the DP2 computer caliper. This is a fully programmable computer caliper. It can calculate results like volumes, average values. It can also have validations of the data collected, and this is all depending on the application that you use at the moment. This computer caliper can also make use of all our accessories, like the DME to measure the plot radius in circular sample plots. It can use the GPS or even the barcode scanner or the electronic tape, Digitech tape. And also you can use it in a post-text solution where you take the position of individual trees. This computer caliper communicates by USB and it has a built-in SSD drive to store a lot of tree data, up to 1 million trees. Then we have the MD2 caliper, and the MD2 caliper, it has a standard application. You cannot use custom software. It can record tree data for either log scaling or standing trees. You can work in local mode and store all your data locally, and this is mostly common by our customers, but you can also send the data online by Bluetooth to any iOS or Android device or even a field computer. And we have our Haglof Link app that is free to use, but it cannot use any of the accessories like the Digitech Professional Caliper. Then we have the new and the latest invention. That's the Digitech BT caliper. This is a lightweight caliper, and it has to feel almost like a manual caliper. The idea is to work online and not to store the data inside the caliper, even if that is possible. It has a small display just to show the diameter values or the values that you record, and you can work locally. But we developed this as a caliper where you will send your data working and send your data to a standalone application, either in iOS or in an Android device. And this caliper cannot make use of any of our accessories. So this is only the Digitech Professional that can do that. Then we have the Vertex Laser Geo and the Laser Geo, and this is really unique instruments for field measurements. The Vertex Laser has a lot of integrated sensors. For example, it has a long range precision laser that can measure up to 600 meters with an accuracy of ±4 centimeters. It has a rechargeable battery that will work for nearly a week. It has ultrasound. So if you cannot measure with laser, if your target is hidden like in the forest, you can use ultrasound. Then it has an integrated tilt sensor to give the possibility to measure relations in height. And then it has an integrated GPS. It has a graphic display on the side. And it has an integrated accurate compass sensor to measure targets, how wide they are, for example. And you have an SSD drive built in, so you can store all your measurement data locally in the device. Then you can, when you store it, you can send it by using USB, and it also has Bluetooth. And there is an heads-up display in the unit where you will see all your measurements. So the functions that we have in these units are, you can measure tree heights, you can measure tree crown width, because you have all the sensors. You can measure, for example, we developed special function for power lines that's called delta height to measure the line sag, how much the line is hanging down from a straight line. You can measure an area, and this could easily be done with the built-in GPS of the unit, but you can also, this is quite good, you can stand in the center of, for example, a clear-cutted area, or it could be a parking lot, and you can measure points and store them from the center of this clear-cutted area or parking lot, and the unit will calculate how many hectares or acres or square meters that is without walking around. You can measure irregular objects like a wood chip pile or any material with a very accurate result. You can use it to point out your trails or track logs, and this is commonly used by our customers and more common and more accurate than with the GPS. Then we have a special function for line clearance, which is good to use if you have a tree that risks to fall, for example, on a power line or a telephone line or near a house or a building. You can actually calculate if the tree will hit or not, and with how. These are some of our instruments and systems that are commonly used by our forestry professionals around the world. To get a better idea about the potential of these products, please pay a visit at our site, and you will find different interesting films about how the products can be used. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Holm and Mr. Wikner. And let's, without further ado, hand over to the commentators for any questions that they may have.
If I may, again, we'll be going with the first question. So we, as commentators, we just saw KTEM AB present an AI measurement tool using a handphone, right, a mobile phone. And here, what you've presented is various tools which enhance really the accuracy, but still using calipers. My question is, like, how do you see this shift in technology affecting your business, and does that affect your value proposition going forward, or do you seek to collaborate in the future with those technologies?
Well, a good question. I mean, we, Haglof, we develop instruments and tools, and our idea has always been to, our systems must work in the field. So our technology has, of course, is more and more advanced, since the need of accuracy all over is increasing. So let's say if it was 10 centimeters, it's 1 centimeter today, or could even be millimeter precision. So of course I think our main target is that it must work in the field in all conditions, but we also look at integrating our technology with modern technology, such as photos, or it could be LiDAR, or anything like new technologies with images and so on. But our main focus is that, first of all, it must really work in the field. We cannot do something that will risk to not to work, so to say. But of course, we see that. But it has only, I see the more requests for our solutions today than some years ago. So if that's the question, people are measuring more and want more accuracy.
Are you able to talk about your customer demographics? Where most of them, where are they located?
Yeah, we have a lot of customers from, of course, North America is a big market for us. We also have our daughter company there since 1981. But of course, we have a lot of customers now, a lot of requests from the region that we're speaking about right now, from users that, and more advanced requests. Like before, it was mainly increment borers and maybe manual calipers. Now it's solutions around measuring plantations, softwares, inventory softwares, and methodology to calculate accurate results and so on. And the region which is growing the most, I would say, is eastern part.
Yeah, we are working with lots of business partners and deals all around the world. So it could change from year to year where in the world, but everywhere, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a very interesting, it's very eye-opening to see these technologies, especially where my company is working in the agri-tech sector and also applying technology to the forestry. We've been using computer vision most of the time. These tools and this accuracy measurement, I think, is something we're gonna explore further into. So thank you very much for that.
If I may, I can continue. Question. I was wondering if you mentioned your software. Or your software, can it take other sorts of data than your own data, for example, satellite data and such?
But when we're talking about software, it's mainly like for the calipers, it's we design softwares upon request, but we also have standard softwares. So those, they are quite hands-on. I mean, to collect all the field data in the correct order. But then we have applications as well, and we have a new cloud-based solution where we can bring in all the data and make reports, custom reports. But of course, we can deliver any file format, and normally our customers then, if they have their own system, for example, that we can design the file format, or they give us the structure of the files just to read it straight into their system. So it's depending on, I would say we are doing both, but mostly it's for us to deliver the correct field data in a structurized way to read it into existing systems, I would say.
Thank you.
It is very interesting to see that you started off as a company that makes precision tools, like manual tools, and then it seemed like you're transitioning into more like technology to add value to your products, you know, start having software integrated like Bluetooth and GPS. And I'm interested to know if you able to share how did you make that transition? Do you like acquired new expertise to your company, or you kind of outsourcing that to other companies who help you with the technology part, the digital part?
I mean, we started up with just manual instruments, but during the time and combined with our partners all around the world, I mean, we've grown into this new technology, and we're working with that since beginning on the 91 or something like that. So, I mean, this is something that we have learned and worked together with people at some university and other business partners as well. So we are picking up new technology all the time, but work together with business partners.
And we have our own R&D team here at the company. So for developments, we do everything here in-house. Of course, as Fredrik said, we have a long cooperation with, for example, the Swedish Landscape University in Umeå, where we discuss methodology or new ways of collecting field data and improve like was spoken about before, to reduce the time to collect the field data. But we never risk to reduce the quality of the data. Someone else can do that. But our solutions should be accurate. And then it's not our way of working has never been to do it. I mean, you can do it fast, but it should be fast enough to still have the accuracy and to validate the data
and secure the data.
Right. Thank you. I love the passion. Thank you.
May I ask a question? Thank you for a very good presentation. It was very interesting. You mentioned that you're getting more and more requests, and I would like to know a little bit about the market dynamics. Is that because you're growing globally, or is it because you're going into other sectors, or are you taking market shares, and how is the growth being for your company?
I think all of those what you mentioned. I've been 20 years with Haglof and traveling, and we work with distributors, local partners all around the world, except from US where we have our own office. But I've seen that, always thought that maybe this will be the new thing, or this will be, and we have monitored that and discussed that, and we together have discussed the different things. But in the end, it's about a need for more and more precise forest data, and there is always a need to measure hands-on, not just looking at the trees or scrolling down your window and think something. So I think this has there is always a will of doing things faster and with less spending less money. But in the end, I think we have not seen so far there's been a decrease for the need of accurate solutions and being out in the field. We see more of that because you have other things that you need to monitor and really be precise with like we talk about, you need to take care of wheel tracks in the forest. Still, you need to see the field where you're going. You cannot do it from only watching at the screen. So I think improving the methods, collecting the accurate field data has been growing the interest for our products. At least we have seen that.
Yeah, and also that you're measuring, when you're measuring it need to be accurate, but also you're going into like urban trees, and when the change in the environment, you need to follow up how things and forests will react on different environmental changes. So it's more important to measure more and more accurate.
I mean, your question, maybe it's plantations is one part where we can see that the interest is growing, but there it's more about the methods. We also see national inventories where I would think that it would have been done differently, but we see that we still have this request to help out with these tasks for different countries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Mr. Holm and Mr. Wikner at Haglof, Sweden.